it's Laura here, your superstar director in Cincy, and I'm still getting over a cold or sinus or allergies. I'm not really even sure what it is, but a week later, I still sound like just terrible. But I'm going through with this video because I promised a handful of people that I would. So I'm starting this new like little mini series, and basically I'm just answering questions. So I'm reaching out to a handful of people, just asking them what they wish that I would talk on. What is something that a trial or a challenge or a big, huge roadblock in their Cincy journey that they need to overcome? And in no way, shape, or form do I feel like I'm the expert at any of these topics. But hey, if I can help even the what not to do, and it saves someone from a hurdle or a roadblock or I don't know, a heartache even, then I'm going to share it. And in 13 years of Cincy, I feel like I have been exposed to a good bit of the trial and errors in my own journey, but also I've read a lot, I've studied a lot, I've listened to a lot of podcasts, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos, I've read a lot of books, I've listened and tried to wholeheartedly pick up on things from my mentors that would not just enhance my journey, but also would help me be a really great leader for the people that I had the chance to serve. So that's what I'm going to share. And I just also have to tell you that as I share ideas, tips, and tricks, things that I've used in my own journey, I'm not saying that I won't maybe even next month or next year come across ways that are way better. But I'm just going to share what I've used in the past that's worked or what I've heard other people use. So anytime I come with one of these questions and my perspective on it, I don't want you to feel like that I feel like it's the only perspective, because that would be really dumb. Nor do I feel like that I won't continue to grow in the area and maybe even come up with better ideas and solutions in the future. So let's start off with the first question. It's really crazy that this question was brought up when I reached out, and I'll continue to be reaching out to just different people asking, hey, what would you like to hear me speak on? Or what would you like to hear my heartfelt opinion on? It's crazy how many times the same kind of question comes up. And this one definitely put a smile on my face, because it is not just something that you'll deal with once or twice. It's not even just something that you'll deal with only in your Cincy journey. It's not even anything that's isolated to being a certain rank or title. This is just like, to me, this is just par for the course stuff. And it's something that I've had to figure out and deal with along the way. And I feel like anybody that's in a leadership role or that, just living life with other people. Anyway, here's the question. I'm ready for it. How do I deal with team members that I don't morally align with? Okay, very valid question. I mean, honestly, let's just strip that question down a little bit and put it to where we all live. How do I deal with team members that I don't get along with? Maybe this particular question wasn't worded just like that, but I'm just going to strip it down. And at the root of it, maybe we could just generalize that question a little bit more and just say, how do we work with and deal with people that we just don't like, don't get along with, don't see eye to eye with, don't morally align with, I don't even know, all the things, right? And to think that you're going to work in your Cincy journey for even 2 months and not meet a customer or a team member or even an upline that you don't see eye to eye with would be almost comical, right? You're going to be put in situations with people that you don't see eye to eye with, people that get on your last ever loving nerve. Okay, so they're out there, and I believe that we are going to find them in our past. And I just have to say that this isn't, I think you need to have an idea of how you're going to deal with this before it happens. And So I'm going to share my opinion on it, and then I would love to hear yours as well. And like I already said, I don't feel like that this is a one size fits all. I'm sure I'm going to continually grow through these questions, and I'll constantly be looking for other ways to share as well, different ideas and tips and tricks. Anyway, I deal with team members that I don't morally align with, or get along with, or see eye to eye with, or like. I try to deal with them the same way Jesus did. And I'm not Jesus, and I will never be. But he sat and ate with people that he knew was trying to get him killed. He went out of his way to visit cities that would put him in contact with the outcast. He chose to spend time with sinners. He chose to sit at a well, a Bible story, where the woman at the well was like super not high class society, like definitely not the kind of person that you would get brownie points for knowing or having on your Instagram account, right? And he went out of his way to sit and talk with her. And so I'm not Jesus, and I'm not trying to fix people like Jesus was trying to fix people. But I also don't feel like that it's my responsibility to let that get in the way, let our differences get in the way of where our relationship is on a professional basis. So I'm constantly telling my directors and my downline that come to me with this question. I'm like, you know what? You can have a professional relationship and not talk about politics. You can have a professional relationship and not see eye to eye on other like moral type questions or topics. They don't even have to come up. Like, we're Scentsy consultants. We can talk about warmers and wax and all the amazingness of Scentsy without giving a crap about how you feel about the political temperature of the United States of America. Like, I don't have to align with your religious beliefs to be a good sponsor for you. I don't have to agree with your dynamic on any level to be able to be a good Scentsy consultant for you. Like, this crosses not just your team, but I think that there's going to be customers that are going to come in your path, and you're not going to see eye to eye with them, and you're not going to love their choices, but that doesn't really matter. Like, you're not called to be their pastor. You're called to be their Scentsy consultant, or you're not called to be their therapist or their best friend. You don't have to be their best friend. Ever. There's nowhere in this business that you're going to be penalized for not being someone's BFF. You can still be an amazing sponsor and consultant for them and not have to even know what their religious beliefs are. So I'm just going to say that, I'm sure in my group of 4,000-ish people, I'm pretty sure that it's quite possible I don't even know. I might not get along with any of them. I have no idea, because all I'm doing is walking in the light that I have, and that my light is just to be the best Scentsy sponsor that I can for them. Just to be there when they need an idea or they need help and they need encouraging. And, hopefully I can get really close with some of them. Hopefully I can create a relationship. And many of my best friends are because of Scentsy and the path that we're on together, and our paths aligned and we connected. And that feels really, super cozy and warm and fun. And I hope it happens 10 million more times in the next 13 of my Scentsy years. But you know what? If it doesn't, I'm not going to quit shining a light in my journey for my customers or my clients, or my team or my directors. I'm not going to stop because I feel like that we differ morally. That's between them and Jesus. One of my favorite quotes on, I don't even know who said it, or sometimes I just randomly see it on Pinterest or Instagram, but it's like, love them all and let Jesus sort it out later. We're not called to judge. We're not called to be someone else's moral compass. In fact, so many times, many, 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 many times throughout the Bible, it actually says, worry about yourself. Judge not. And I'm not going to judge. And no, I may not be able to, say that I'm someone's best friend. But at the end of the day, in Scentsy, I don't have to. And so how do you deal with team members that you don't morally align with? You just do your job. Just do your job. Just be their Scentsy consultant. Just shine your light and talk about Scentsy stuff, and just be what you're supposed to be for them, and don't worry about what's on the other side of that. Don't worry about where they go to church on Sunday, or if they do, or whatever. I think this goes across the board too. I'm going to step away from the moral part. I know that was part of the question, but I'm going to step away from the moral part and just say that there may be team members that run their businesses differently than you. You may be the fundraising queen. You may be the, one-on-one type events queen, and you may recruit someone that does very well underneath you, and they are online only people. Like, they are like Facebook, Instagram bosses, and that's how they generate their sales and recruiting, and you may differ completely from your styles of running your business, and yet you both can thrive, and you both can be on the same team and learn from each other and help grow each other's journeys. And so I feel like that also transcends into what we're talking about on a moral level as well, is that, you know what, we can all be really great, really awesome, and be completely different. And there isn't a one size fits all in how we should run our business. And I don't feel like that there's also a one size fits all for some of the other things that we're tormented or might be tormented by. So I just say step away and realize, stay in your lane, do your job, and don't worry about being the other things that you feel like might hinder you from interacting with them. Strip it down. I actually am going to step out on a little bit of a limb and say that I feel like that it's really hard to be very, very close with people that are directly under you or directly over you. Sometimes, even in the business world, in corporate America, that doesn't always work very well when you're in the same company, in the same business, and you have too close of a friendship or relationship with someone that's directly above or below you. Even in corporate America, that just doesn't work very well. And so I'm going to say the same thing in Scentsy. Don't try to make all of your team members BFFs. It may not lend to growth very well on either one of your sides. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on it. Spent longer talking about it than I thought I would. But I hope this helps for some of you guys that might be struggling with this, Maybe you feel really, really passionate about things religiously or politically or whatever. I can't even think of other options, but maybe you're very, very passionate on things, and maybe you have team members that are as well, and you guys are absolutely on polar opposite sides on things. How can you find common ground? How can you find a professional relationship moving forward and things not get hairy? Just stay in your lane. Just do what you're called to do and walk in the light that you have. And I feel like it'll all work out. So anyway, that's that.